The story that everybody's been following is this Amber Alert story out of Syracuse yesterday afternoon. The father, in this case, had been, we believe, picked up by police in Baldwinsville. And right now we know nothing. Police are expected to talk about this sometime at around 10 o'clock this morning. But here's the scary part of this. There's no baby. There's no child. And on the line right now from WSYR-TV in Syracuse, Channel 9, Andrew Donovan. Andrew, good morning. What do we know here this morning? I believe you're out at the scene right now, right?
Yeah, good morning, Bill. I'm actually at a location that was very heavily guarded by police last night. It's a wooded hunting area in Lysander, which is the town that surrounds Baldwinsville. It's the Three Rivers hunting area, and it's just basically a wooded, dense, kind of desolate area. And trooper upon trooper was here overnight. They've no longer they've left for now, planning to search again at 8 o'clock with a more comprehensive search. But this is where they searched overnight. No indication as to how serious the evidence might be that led them here. But that's why we're waiting to hear more from police later on, and then they'll decide to search, too.
And isn't it the case that police have really, the arrest happened yesterday afternoon, but police have really told us nothing up to this point?
Yeah, that's exactly right. They didn't even really announce his arrest or taken into custody. We've confirmed it through our own sources, but there was no public notice to all these people who've been following the Amber Alert that this man was taken into custody about 12 hours ago now in front of a thrifty shop store in Baldwinsville, a Salvation Army-owned store. And one thing that was interesting, we spoke with employees who actually called in that he was inside the store. He was disguised. He was wearing a wig.
Yeah,
he had a bandana on that was camouflaged, and they said he smelled of campfire, which is something they told police. So those are just some interesting tidbits from them, even though we haven't gotten much more from police as to his mental state right now or what he's telling them.
Talking to Andrew Donovan, who now works with Channel 9 in Syracuse. You'll remember that he worked here. Andrew, when you guys are all together and we're talking about the group of press people, the fact that police aren't releasing anything, does it make you feel as if maybe someone else might be involved?
You know, I hate to speculate, and I really haven't thought of that specifically. I wonder if they aren't saying much because they are actually questioning him. I can, from television, maybe picture he's in a room somewhere and they're trying to quiz him on if he, where this child might be, who else might be involved.
Right.
And they have to vet all that information. And obviously, if he gave them a specific location, they would have gone there right away.
Yeah.
And perhaps they're vetting all of that before they tell us anything. They don't want these areas contaminated with reporters, with spectators. So they want to keep things quiet until they know yes or no.
Yeah.
And perhaps they have other people to question now that they're questioning him and don't want us to, the public to know about that until that's complete.
And I can't help but think, here he is in this Salvation Army type thrift shop in a disguise. Did the witnesses say anything else about his demeanor, about his mental state? I mean, you're drawing a picture that's a bit odd to begin with, right?
That's exactly right. They noted it was odd. That's why they called police. They recognized him from all of the Amber Alerts. And, they said he was acting suspicious. He was fidgety and uncomfortable. And he actually purchased a blanket. We don't know what that's for, but that's what he was in the store to get, a blanket. He purchased it, and that's when they turned him in to police. One thing that's interesting is many officers that have been out searching, we've run into so many members of the community who said they can't sleep until they find this baby girl if they think she's anywhere in their town. 2, 3 in the morning, we were running into groups of people, not law enforcement, not even police officers nearby, just people in caravans of vehicles or on foot searching through their neighborhoods. It's really amazing. It's really kind of the only thing people are talking about here.
Well, it tells you a lot about the community, right?
That's absolutely right. They were just so insistent that they're going to search until they find her, despite how cold it is. It's very cold, about 15 degrees right now, and they were out longer than police. Police had to kind of wrap things up for the night.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they got a serious tip, they'd act on it, but they kind of closed up shop for the night, planning to regroup in just a couple hours now for a big comprehensive search. And they said they'd bring in the forest rangers and the DEC, people who are better experienced at searching through this kind of terrain. State troopers said that this isn't their specialty. Obviously, state troopers are incredible, but they even said we have to wait for 8 o'clock to bring in the experts who know how to search through woods and look for these kinds of things.
Wow. Andrew Donovan, thanks. Maybe we can check in a bit later. I'm told there'll be a press conference maybe at 10 o'clock this morning.
10 o'clock, Syracuse police will update us, and 8 o'clock the search will resume, but yes, 10 o'clock is when the police have a scheduled press conference.
All right, Andrew Donovan, Channel 9 in Syracuse. Thanks for the time. We'll check in a little bit later for you.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks. It's a little bit makes you a little uncomfortable, right? The fact that they called the search off, that authorities called the search off last night. It's not like it was that cold. Does that worry you a little bit?
What worries me is this morning I spoke with someone who said that I could convey the information, but it was an off-the-record source, saying that they lost hope early this morning when in the area that they were targeting, they didn't hear cries, they didn't hear anything like that.
And, in the teens, it's 17 degrees right now, so very, very, very cold. But you would wonder why they would call the search off. And what is the mental capacity of this guy? I mean, why?
Right.
Where would there be any benefit of harming a child? Again, we don't know what happened, but we're certainly right now beginning to have some very difficult thoughts.
A thought on the search or canceling the search. Has the Amber Alert been canceled? Do we know?
No, that's still up and running.
That would make me think that if they thought the girl, something bad had happened to her fatally, that they would have canceled it. So I guess that is some hope there.
There is the possibility that somebody else could be involved as well. And interesting that the witnesses said that they could smell wood smoke, like campfire type smoke on the guy, and that he was, according to the witnesses, dressed in a wig and a disguise.
And the one witness said she recognized his eyes. That's why she called police.
Well, you wonder about these. See, some people are good at that stuff, and some people are not. I have a difficulty being able to differentiate between, when they put out a photo, it's like everybody either looks like it or doesn't look like it. But there's some people that are really, really good at this.
Yeah.
And that shows you the benefit of putting the pictures out. And, wow. All right, we'll keep you up to date on this story. Again, just down the thruway in Baldwinsville is where the search has centered. And listen, this is a really disturbing story. Even up to this point, we really don't know anything.